announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Oh, you didn't know?
You ready? Let's go!
Are you ready? I said, are you ready? Feed me. All right, good afternoon, or whenever you decide to listen to it, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. My name is Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella, and it is the newest episode of the Sportswire. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, 2015, and we've got a jam-packed show for you today. We're going to be talking about the whole Deflategate scandal and how I may have been wrong to put my full support behind Tom Brady. Yeah, I'll always admit when I'm wrong, because, well, quite honestly, when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And, you know, if I do something wrong, I'll admit it to you. Just a matter of, me finding out that I am wrong. Okay, so the other stuff we have in store for you today, we've got news from the NFL Hall of Fame about Junior Seau and his being inducted into the Hall of Fame next weekend, and some, I don't know about controversy, but definitely some miscommunication there. We're going to go over some stuff regarding Hulk Hogan, and there's still stuff coming out. WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan, as far as I know, he's still considered part of the Hall of Fame. Stuff is still coming out from him on those the whole racial tension, and there, you know, it's basically splitting the wrestling industry and splitting the even go down to the legends and the Hall of Famers about who supports him and whatever. It's basically splitting the industry in half. All these things that are coming out. Also talking about some other stuff going on. The Connecticut Panthers, we were at the game last Saturday. I apologize. We were supposed to broadcast live. Problem being, there's no internet at the stadium, or should I say they won't allow us to use the internet at the stadium because I guess CIAC rules, which is Connecticut Interscholastic Athletic Corporation or committee or whatever it is, they don't want to allow outside people, outside teams to use their internet. So we couldn't even get internet access there if we wanted. So I am looking for other ways to get portable internet into the stadium, even if I have to find out through Verizon what I have to do to get one of those boxes to get portable internet so that we could give you. We did announce over the weekend that Len Murdo Jr. Will be joining me from now on as color commentator on the Connecticut Panthers broadcast, because quite honestly, I needed the help, and you know it's tough to do both on your own. But so the next home game is the 9th of August, 7 p.m. Falcon Field, Meriden, Connecticut. Definitely show up and go. It's a great time. The Panthers won this past weekend 34-0 against the Brass City Brawlers. But anyways, we'll be talking about that later on in the show. I have some notes for you and my player of the game. So I first of all, I want to mention our sponsors, Twism White Piece, I'm going to be playing one of his songs later on today. He is one of our DJs here at Fat Cat Radio. He recently got signed to Red Bull Records, which is a division of Warner Brothers, and they're going to be helping us keep us afloat. Also, BLEMG.com is Wayne Jones Management Company. They are one of our sponsors. as well as Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions. And, I'll put those links up, every time that I post new, the link to the podcast, I learn different things of how to put it, and and put in there just to promote everything. And so I'll put the link for our sponsors in there from now on, which I should have done from the beginning. Okay. Visit all of our websites and all of our ways of listening to our programming here for Fat Cat Radio. www.swect.com, SWE-CT.com. Hasn't been updated in a couple months. I have to get in there when I have some time to update it. Also, www.myfatcatradio.com. Facebook.com/SportswireCT. It is now named Sportswire, not SWE. So check that out. Also, Facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella. That's my personal fan page for Big Daddy Cool Vinny Apicella. Definitely like it. Follow me. I usually repost a lot of things on those two pages. And then Facebook.com/Fat Cat Radio Enterprise. On Twitter, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram, Periscope, Tout, Tumblr, SoundCloud. Look it all up, SWE Connecticut. Also, you can find us on YouTube and Google Plus and Skype, Sportswire SWE. So definitely check those out. I was just talking to a female tough enough hopeful. Her name is Deanna. I'm going to be working on getting an interview with her within the next week or so. And just bring you listeners how her journey to applying for Tough Enough has gone and what she's going to be doing from now on. And then we got some more interviews coming up. This coming weekend is the 48-hour film project in New Haven. If you haven't signed up, I believe you're too late, or you could probably sign up right that day. The concept of it is you get a genre, a character's name, prop, and a line of dialogue. Everybody gets it at Friday at 7 p.m., and then you have till Sunday at 7 p.m. to shoot, cast, write, produce, edit, and everything. Get it all together and get it back in 48 hours. It's a short film, 5 to 7 minutes, or whatever it is. I've done it. I did it one time, and I did one for the Whaling City Film Project, which was actually, I believe, 4 days. But I will say this: it was a fun event, fun time, and afterwards, I'm going to have my good buddy Will Case and Melissa Schwartz on the podcast to talk about their experience this year and what and to kind of sell it, try to get more people for them. For next year and whatever else they're going to be doing there with Eagle Eye Entertainment and Sportswire Entertainment as well, SWE. All right, so I do have my Facebook page open. For people to post any questions or comments or anything. I've been going through a lot in my personal life this past week. I don't want to get into my personal life on the air because, it's out of respect to Desiree. But, it's one of those things where, and I went over it briefly on Saturday's show. And, honestly, my personal life really doesn't have any place in the Sportswire, any place at all. Because, it's my personal life. This is business. I can't say that I will never use personal experiences on the show and stuff that's going on because, quite honestly, if I feel like I want to promote somebody because they've been so good to me, I will. And I've mentioned Desiree on the podcast before, and how much I care about her and how much I love her, and that still stands true, regardless of how she feels about me at this point. But that's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to badmouth her because she doesn't deserve to be badmouthed. And that's all there is to it. That's it. I'm not going to turn this into one of those boar bashing shows. For those of you that watch the Sportswire during the public access area, you'll know what I mean. All right, so we got a lot to talk about right now, and let's get started, shall we? With the first topic of the day. All right, and no, folks, for all those guys out there, that does not mean that I have Sable coming on the show. If I did, I'd really have to talk to Brock Lesnar about that, seeing as they are married. But no, it's not about Sable. It's about the Connecticut Panthers. And actually, quite honestly, I'm trying to figure out a new theme song to play for the Panthers. I got one in mind, but it might not work for the podcast. So, as I said before, the Connecticut Panthers, they fought the Brass City Brawlers. And Brass City Brawlers from the very beginning were, there we go. The Brass City Brawlers from the very beginning, they were very out of touch, so to speak. They had very few team members because they just I don't know the problem. But they just had very few team members. But I will say this, they put up a good fight. There were some injuries. You could definitely go on to our website and listen to the game. Because it was a good game. They didn't really put up that big of a fight. Well, let me put it this way: the Connecticut Panthers are the reigning, defending, undisputed semi-pro champions of 2014, and they went to the North-South Bowl down in Florida, and at least that's what it was called when the Knights used to do it. And they killed. They rocked. So, quite honestly, they ended up, really winning the match, really winning the game. And, it is what it is. Their defense was out of control. I don't think the Brawlers got more than 15 yards of offense all game. First of all, the game was short. I will say this. I believe they did 12-minute quarters instead of 15. There was no timekeeper. There was no statistician up in the booth with me. I was on my own. But I will say this. The game itself, when you look at the offense put up by the Panthers, all right, so the Panthers have two really good quarterbacks. Todd Carroll, who I believe was part of the Todd Carroll was actually part of the New England Knights back in the day. It was either part of the Knights or part of the Whalers. I can't remember because I remember the name specifically. Quarterback Ziggy Bailey as well. I believe he was part of the Knights too. And I believe that the Panthers, they started with Aaron Hairston. If you remember Aaron Hairston, he was the guy that looked like The Rock. He was, I believe, their first head coach, and then he moved down to Bridgeport. But the Panthers have always had a rich history in semi-pro football up here once the Knights left and disbanded. But so Todd Carroll to Ziggy Bailey was the first touchdown, and then their kicker Zemanski is awesome. But you know what? I have to say this: the Brass City Brawlers. Okay, the very first kickoff, the Panthers won the toss. They elected to receive, and the Brawlers decided to do an onside kick for the first for the opening kickoff. Something I've never seen in my entire life of watching football. And the Panthers, I believe if I'm not mistaken, the Brawlers actually recovered, which was very, very weird for me. But it is what it is. So Todd Carroll to Ziggy Bailey for a touchdown. And then the next touchdown came from running back Tyrone Kelly. He had a 15-yard run for the next touchdown, made it 13-0. Zemansky with the extra point. The defense actually scored a touchdown. It was a high snap fumble recovery in the end zone. And that made it 20-0 in the second quarter. There was a failed 2-point conversion, kept it at 20-0. In the third quarter, it was only a 5-minute halftime intermission. In the third quarter, capped off. This is the play of the game, in my opinion. I believe it's Rich Snowden, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just check my roster here. Yes, Richard Snowden. He had a 50-yard plus pass to Kyle Watkins, wide receiver. That made it 26-0, and another failed 2-point conversion kept it at 26-0. And then to put the icing on the cake, in the fourth quarter, Richard Snowden, another touchdown pass, this time to Akwan Shabazz, wide receiver, made it 32-0. And then they actually had a 2-point conversion run to make it 34-0. And that was how the game ended. So it was a great game. I highly recommend, if you have a chance, if you're in the Meriden, Connecticut area, definitely check out the Connecticut Panthers, because they are just absolutely awesome. And, it's one of those things. Coach Mark Welch was on the show earlier this month or last month, and just talking about the team, talking about the games, and I have to say that, it's one of those things where it's going to work. And, I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that would put the Panthers at 2-0. Let me just check. I should have checked earlier, but quite honestly, I forgot. All right, so in week 1, in week 1, don't leave me. The Panthers, they actually lost to the Western Connecticut Militia 21-18. So the Panthers go to 1-1 with the win, and the Brawlers, I'm trying to find them. Brawlers, where are you, Brawlers? Oh, the Brawlers got, holy cow, the Brawlers got rocked 53-0 from the Connecticut Chiefs. So the Brawlers go to 0-2. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. So that's what that is. They are in the NFL AAA Elite Division. Check out the website nefl.us. That's what it is currently. And as I said, in the NEFL Southern Division right now, the Western Connecticut Militia are 2-0. Connecticut Chiefs are 1-0. Pioneer Valley Knights are 1-0. Guess they had a bye this week. Or they must not have had a game this week. It must have been rained out or something or other. The Connecticut Panthers are 1-1. The Hartford Colts and the Brass City Brawlers are both 0-2. In the Northern Division of the Colonial Conference AAA Division of the NFL standings, the Rhode Island War Dogs are 2-0. Then we got a three-way tie between the Southern Maine Raging Bulls, the Boston Bandits, and the North Shore Generals, and the Lowell Nor'easter. They're all four teams are 1-1. And then we got the Northeast Natives 0-2, rounding out that division. All this is from nefl.us. Check it out, because that's where all the games are. Games, teams, and standings. All right, so where are we at next? We're going to go to our first song. First song by a really, I would probably say a fan of the show. She's been communicating with me. She's going to send music and CDs to our Ride for Lexi campaign in September. Jenna Marotta. Here's a new song from her. It's called Diesel Woman, right here on the Sportswire.
1, 2, 1, 2, 2.
I got this big old pickup truck. I've been taking it to work and shit. I got myself a real fat ride. Mirrors for the side vision, dually wheels. You know it's kicking. A one hitter is packed inside. I'm a diesel woman. Thinking about getting a new tattoo. Thinking about my leather and my guitar too. I'm a diesel woman. I just wanna sit on the beach. I know it sounds cheesy, but I wanna sit and read. Got a stack of papers, I don't wanna sit and grade them. I just wanna guarantee, but for later. I'm a diesel woman. Thinking about getting a new tattoo. Thinking about my leather and my guitar too. I'm a diesel woman. Gonna jump in the gear, gonna fire it up. Play house music in my pickup truck. We're going to the beach, man who wants to ride shawty with me. Grab us a Red Bull, I'll roll us up a Philly. We'll ditch the boys tonight and us girls will get silly. We'll get really drunk and ride the trolley back home for free. Diesel woman. So thinking about getting a new tattoo. Thinking about my leather and my guitar too. I'm a diesel woman. Every time I go outside, I get a ride on the beachside trolley where the girls are fly. Guys up on them and the girls don't want them 'cause they just wanna sit and smoke their marijuana. I'm a diesel woman.
All right, and that was Jenna Marotta with Diesel Woman right here on the Sportswire. Definitely a great talent, great singer. Check her out. She is on Facebook, Jenna Marotta, and she's been one of the greatest singers I've been putting on the Sportswire as of lately. All right, so I have to open my mouth, insert my foot, and when I have to do that, I am very honest about it, and I will admit when I'm wrong about a lot of things. And I will say this: when all this Deflategate garbage came out, I was honestly 100% behind Tom Brady because I didn't think that, that he needed the help, so to speak, because, he is one of the, greatest quarterbacks in history. But new evidence has come to light now. It turns out, and it's been all over the internet, that Tom Brady destroyed his cell phone and the thousands of text messages on the phone during the investigation process, knowing full well the NFL asked to look at it. Now, obviously, there's no legal action that can be taken because the NFL can't press charges like that for destroying evidence. But just the fact that he destroyed the cell phone shows guilt. The NFL has upheld his 4-game suspension, and in my opinion, from what I see, perception is everything. As I've said numerous times on the show, perception is everything. And all the time that Tom Brady said that, he had nothing to do with it, whatever, and his lawyer said that, he would show the text messages and emails as long as he could filter through them first. The phone was destroyed. That right there is like, unless he really had damaging stuff on there, but regardless, I'm not part of the NFL, and it could have taken anybody to go through that phone. He's a celebrity. He's got a celebrity wife that, anybody could have gone through there, sold stuff to TMZ. But the fact remains is that, if his lawyer was going to go through the stuff and say, here's the stuff that's relevant, then why destroy the phone? So that just adds more guilt to the fire. That just adds more questions to the fire. And quite honestly, it's turned a lot of people off. It turned me off. And now I have no problem watching the NFL, not boycotting it. And Tom Brady getting suspended for 4 games, to me now seems like a slap on the wrist. The MLB goes through the A-Rod's, PED stuff, and he gets a year suspension. Tom Brady got off easy with a 4-game, in my opinion now, and another hero, so to speak, falls from grace this week because of actions done, actions that were done. So Tom Brady. Now I want to know what other people are thinking about it. Do people think that he destroyed his cell phone, on purpose? That's the way it looks, regardless of whether he did it on purpose or not. All of us are guilty at one point or another in our lives of doing something with a completely different intent than it comes out. But it's perception that's everything. And that's exactly what it is. Perception is everything. So Tom Brady suspended for the first 4 games. That's good for the Pittsburgh Steelers as the Steelers face the Patriots in Game 1 of the year. Now, if you're Bill Belichick and you're the Patriots organization now, what kind of action do you take? Do you take action to say, oh well, we're going to release Tom Brady because of this? I don't know, because the Patriots were, but it looks like the, equipment people were in on it, and the Patriots accepted the $1 million fine. So maybe they realized that, yeah, we got caught. Now there are new standards in there where they're going to be measured randomly, before the game, at halftime, and after the game. So, and quite honestly, that's the way it should be. Neither team should be able to handle the balls until game time. It should be done by the NFL, by the officials. But whatever the case may be, Tom Brady has been, the suspension has been upheld for Tom Brady for the rest, for the first 4 games of the year. And yeah, that's all there is to it. But hey, life goes on. And that's what it is. More NFL news. I'm actually going to go to my next song. And before I get to the other NFL news, it's A.J. Jansen. It's called Country Song Survivor, right here on the Sportswire.
It's Friday night. Charlie greets me at the door. I'm feeling fine. He knows what I'm looking for. With a wink and a smile, he catches my attention. God bless the man and his patience. No, I ain't from Tennessee, but country music's in my blood. I got it from my grandpa. He used to sing the songs he loved. I don't abide by the rules of a typical cowgirl, but I'm a northern Yankee country song survivor. I have the scars of the honky-tonk bar. of loud, they don't give a damn where I'm from. Don't tell me that I don't belong in this ballroom. Just 'cause I'm a northern Yankee country song survivor. They come in to see me sing about the legends and lost highways. I remind them for a moment everything's okay. With a tip in a jar and an old guitar that's tired, y'all. Here's a northern Yankee country song, Survivor. The scars of the honky-tonk bars in my blood. And when the music's so loud, they don't give a damn where I'm from. Don't tell me I don't belong in this ballroom. Just 'cause I'm a northern Yankee country song survivor. It's Saturday night. Charlie greets me at the door. He says he's doing alright as he points me to stage door.
All right, and that was AJ Jansen with Country Song Survivor. Right here on the Sportswire. AJ Jansen, great country singer from the Connecticut area. And, you know, a really great song, really great talent. And I'm proud to have play her and support her music career. Okay, so before the break, before the song, I was talking about another NFL thing. Well, it's more of, you know what, 3 Hall of Fames are affected within 3 weeks. That's basically the way it's looking right now. So, quite honestly, here's the thing. First off, we had the MLB Major League Baseball Hall of Fame induction ceremony this past weekend, and 4 players went in: Randy Johnson, Craig Biggio, John Schmaltz, and Pedro Martinez. I don't necessarily agree with Pedro Martinez going in, especially if Roger Clemens is not in there because of the whole steroid issue, because Pedro Martinez was hurt a lot. And after what he did to Don Zimmer back in the late 90s during that one game in the playoffs, during that bench-clearing brawl, I don't think he deserves to go in there, and I will stick to that. But whatever the case is, I'm not one of the, crooked baseball writers that vote for the Hall of Fame. I mean, quite honestly, I think it should be the fans or the players themselves that vote for the Hall of Fame, not the baseball writers, because in my opinion, that's a conflict of interest. But, whatever the case may be. Or at least have a committee of only 10 people or 20 people to vote on, the players. That's just me. And then we know the WWE Hall of Fame and Hulk Hogan and that whole issue there. I'll go more over Hulk Hogan a little later on in the show. But going on now in 2 weeks, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, the weekend of the 8th and 9th of August, it will be the NFL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And, I'm honestly not sure what players are going. And all I know, the only one that's been drawing a lot of talk lately is Junior Seau. And Junior Seau going into the Hall of Fame. Now, back in 2010, the NFL Hall, or the Pro Football Hall of Fame had implemented a new policy that for any player that's inducted posthumously or posthumously, means after they passed, they don't get to have a family member speak for them. They just have a extended video package. I honestly think that's garbage. Apparently there was some miscommunication on the part of the family of Junior Seau and the NFL and the Hall of Fame when Junior Seau's daughter was originally told somehow or from somebody that she would have been able to speak about her father and his love of the game. Now, here's where it gets dicey, okay? I can understand the NFL's point because you don't want anybody to use it as a civic rally about concussions and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to, somebody's, career, it's like, let their family members speak. It's like with the WWE Hall of Fame inductions. It's like everybody that goes in gets a video package, and then, if you're inducted posthumously, a family member, accepts the award, the ring or the award or whatever. For Yokozuna, it was Rikishi. For Randy Savage, it was his brother Lanny Poffo. For Paul Bearer, it was his sons, and that's the way it should be. And it's not that anybody, even believe me, with all the stuff that WWE did, and has done over the past, and you would think that even with Randy Savage, having Lanny Poffo speak because he was so outspoken against the WWE and everything, you would think that he would been, he would be bitter and talk about Randy Savage's grudges with Vince and everything and what have you. Of course he didn't. He talked about Randy Savage's career. You go into the steroid use and all that went rampant and everything in the 80s and early 90s to the point where you wouldn't want somebody's family member, but you still give them the respect. So that's the way it should have been done in the NFL and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Junior Seau's daughter, instead, because apparently she was told she would be able to speak, so she didn't put every video clip that she wanted to in the video. Now, could they say, go back and edit the video? I'm sure they could. It's 2 weeks away. But that's not the point. The point is, quite honestly, this rule needs to be repealed. And, you should let a family member speak on a deceased inductee's behalf. They're the ones that were there with them, whether it's their, because they had Reggie White's, I believe his wife, speak for him when he was inducted in the Hall of Fame because he had passed away. And that was the last one until that was the last one. And then in 2010, the rule went into effect. I guess they're worried about time constraints, but what's the difference between playing a 15 or 20 minute video, and extending it 5 minutes because the guy passed away, or playing a 5-minute video and having the family member speak for 10, 15 minutes? It doesn't make sense to me. So could there be an initial fear? Yeah. But I think everybody's mature enough to not use it. There are more appropriate venues for that kind of talk, and that's what the Seau family had wrote and put in their release. Was there are more appropriate ways of dealing with stuff like that. This was specifically about his playing career on the field, and and that's it. It's not about the mental problems afterwards. It's not about the concussions and everything. It's about Junior Seau's playing career. So that's what it boils down to. I apologize. I need to get through these yawns. So there was a lot of controversy there, and it's still ongoing. I just feel like it's a BS rule, and that's what it is. Now, I mean, how do you feel about it? Definitely tweet at me at SWE Connecticut. Go to the Facebook page and post something about it because, that's something that's kind of disturbing. You have a guy that plays his career as an awesome player, ends up passing away regardless of where it's from, whether it's from suicide or natural causes or whatever, and you don't. Sorry, folks. And you don't have somebody that could actually speak for them. That's sad. But it is what it is. It's a lot of, looks like a lot of sadness going around the world nowadays in these past week or so. Just a lot of sadness. But whatever. Moving on. Before again, I'm bringing personal stuff into the show, which I am trying very hard not to. Because there's a lot I could say. And I will not use this as a public forum to air my dirty laundry. So, with that being said, I move on to another song. Here's a great up-and-coming singer from Connecticut, Katie Perkins. Here's her song, We Can Make It, right here on the Sportswire.
I like to sing out loud, feel the sunrise in my heart. It takes away the blue again, dries me up from all the rain. I'd walk 1,000 miles. There's something in that boy's smile that makes me love him so. It's so hard to let him go, so I hold on to what we got. We give it all, but they want more. They just don't believe in forever. I'm ready to leave it. I'm ready to prove them wrong. We can fight this hand in hand all on our own. They say we can make it. They tell us it's all wrong. We're gonna break down all those rules and make some of our own. We're both working 9 to 5 to save enough to leave this life, so we can be young and free, somewhere that they can't see, creating all that we had dreamed, enjoying what's in between, every second, every day is love, proving that we'll rise above. Hold on to what we got. We give it all, but they want more. They just don't believe in forever. I'm ready to leave it. I'm ready to prove them wrong. We can fight this hand in hand on our own. They say we won't make it. They tell us it's all wrong. We're gonna break down all those rules and make some of our own. Everybody should see love is only what you make it out to be. He's the air that I breathe. One day I know you'll believe. We're ready to make it. We're ready to prove them wrong. We can fight this hand in hand all on our own. They say we won't make it. They tell us it's all wrong. We're gonna break down all those rules and make some of our own. I know we can make it.
All right, folks, that was Katie Perkins right here on the Sports Wire with We Can Make It. As I said before, great talent from Connecticut, up-and-coming talent. She's fantastic. I'm going to try to get her on the show as well, one of these days, because I want to try to get more interviews on, so it's not just you hearing me talk all the time. The next thing that's on the agenda for today to talk about is, first of all, I want to send some prayers and condolences out to the family of Sherman Helmsley, man who played George Jefferson, George Jefferson, excuse me, on the obviously the sitcom The Jeffersons, and also on All in the Family, because The Jeffersons was a spinoff of All in the Family, and he was in Mr. Nanny with Hulk Hogan. How ironic that the next topic I'll be talking about is Hulk Hogan. Definitely prayers and condolences go out to him. He passed away yesterday. And prayers and condolences also go out to the family, the Brown family, Brown Houston family. Bobby Christina Brown passed away as well at the age of 22. Pretty much in the same way. In the same way of her mother. She was found unresponsive in a tub, and after a drug overdose. And it's sad that, and it's quite honestly sad that it's sad that so much has happened to that family because of drugs, and drugs are really bad. I mean, I remember, a month ago, I had, my friend Brian on the show talking about his drug abuse and addiction, and it could lead to very bad things. And I will never say that drug use or drug addiction is something small to get rid of. Addiction itself is very hard to get rid of, whether it's an addiction to, drugs or addiction to a person, or addiction to sex, or addiction to alcohol or pornography or whatever. Addiction is a very hard thing to kick. I myself suffer from an addiction to food. I am overweight, but it's one of those things where, and I'll be honest, I suffer from addiction to women too. When I get into a relationship, I put their all ahead of me. When I got into the relationship with Desiree, I put my all into it, to the point where I was spending more time at her house than I was at my house. And I lived with roommates, and my roommates were concerned about me spending so much time over there and not spending time here. I made choices and decisions to, I resented doing the podcast at times because it took time away from me spending time with her. So I'd always make sure I would do it when I couldn't be with her, like if she was at work or what have you. And it's something very difficult to get over, because when you get into it, regardless of what the addiction is, you always feel like you need that. It's like, Billy Idol's song "Addicted to Love." Was it Billy Idol? No, that's Cradle of Love. "Addicted to Love" is Robert Palmer. I believe Robert Palmer, "Addicted to Love." I can't remember off the top of my head. But it's one of those things, and I'll be the first person to share what I'm addicted to, because it helps me to get it out there for people to know that you could be addicted to more than just drugs and alcohol. There's addiction, obviously, to gambling. There's an addiction to, overeating. Addiction to sugar, There's an addiction to just about everything under the sun. And it's very difficult to overcome, because you feel like crap, honestly. Obviously through, when it comes to drug addiction, if you want to kick it, you have to go through withdrawal. Well, you have to go through withdrawal in a lot of things. If you're the kind of person that gets addicted to a woman, and you break up for whatever reason it may be, you go through withdrawal. Over the past week, my heart has been in 3 pieces or more. It's been shattered because of everything that's gone on between Desiree and I. Not saying that it's all her fault, because a lot of it's my fault too. But it started with my fault. Let me put it that way. It would have never happened if it wasn't for my stupidity and naivety and whatever. But I've been through hell this week because I haven't been able to see her, and I haven't been able to have a meaningful conversation with her. But that's just me. And I said I wouldn't get personal on this, and I apologize. That's not not what I want to do. But it just so happens that the conversation or monologue takes a turn for whatever way it goes. But that's neither here nor there. Addiction itself is something very powerful, and unfortunately, claimed the life of not only Whitney Houston, but also her daughter, Bobby Christina Brown. So our prayers and thoughts and condolences go out to the Brown Houston family. All right, so before we get to that segment, went a little longer than I expected. But before I get to the next segment, I'm going to go to another song. It's our buddy Twism White Piece. All right, here's the song, Do You Remember, right here on the Sportswire.
This one's dedicated to the one I still remember. Do you? They say it's better to have loved and lost than to have never loved at all. Do you remember? All of the kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember? All of the promises, the memories, have you forgotten all of them that easily? I'm sitting here stuck, looking out the window at the rain come and go, the days come and go, the pain come and go, the memories of us that I just can't let go. The moment that we met, our eyes lined up, spying deep inside each other's souls. We both knew from the go we had to grab a hold of this train ride. It started like a roller coaster, now like a children's track, we moving slower. Hollering and screaming, fighting and believing the best we had already achieved. I believe the moment that we accepted defeat came when we stopped fiending for each other, stopped being there for each other. But there is no other that I would have ever put before you. It's just that the proof I had for you wasn't the truth for you. Now I'm sitting here so shattered, feeling like a fool. Does it even matter? Do you remember? Kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember? All of the promises, the memories, have you forgotten all of them that easily? Too many opportunities to recover from the troubles we were dealt, but not enough energy or health to continue to fight the blows being thrown just below the belt. We use words to cut deep like a ginsu. With issues remaining, we never talked and or rearranged behaviors and or actions. I'm thinking back to when I was backtracking, being attacked by your friends, haters, and pretends. Who was there with a shoulder to lend? Who held your hand when the last man left you stranded? Who took you from misery to happiness by being the friend that made you mad at snowball fights in a snowstorm? Candles lit, formed in a heart with warm oil to start the massage, a collage of pictures, prayers uttered together, filled with wishes. Our best intentions never made it to reality. It's a sad reality, thinking of it really. Do you remember? All of the kisses, the hugs, the moments that we were totally intoxicated with love. Do you remember?
All right, and that was Twism White Piece with Do You Remember, and right here on the Sportswire. Amazing how it's really amazing how sometimes I pick songs that I'm just trying to promote the artist, and the songs just resonate with what's going on. Anyways, so the next thing on the agenda to talk about is Hulk Hogan, the immortal Hulk Hogan, WWE Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan, and a lot of stuff is coming out, and a lot of stuff has been coming out about now they're saying that he allegedly said something about Jamie Foxx, in the same video, and then talking in the same video about anti-gay or whatever, and it's like I have to say this. I have to agree with Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash, who is quite honestly my favorite wrestler. Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan are my two favorite wrestlers. Kevin Nash, and I retweeted it, came out yesterday and said that he thought that, the tape that, Gawker had, the sex tape, what you call it? I got sidetracked for a second. The tape was that Gawker had, the sex tape that was done 8 years ago, that it was doctored, and it could possibly have been doctored. There's nothing to say that, first of all, after seeing Hulk Hogan for 30 years, now obviously Hulk Hogan is a character, he's on WWE or WCW, but, if he really was that racist, would he have done tag team in the first WrestleMania with Mr. T? Would he have had 2 good matches with Dennis Rodman? Would he have had, would he have worked with Kamala? And Kamala has come out and said, that's not the Hulk I know. Again, it comes down to finding out what the context was rather than jumping to conclusions. It's again. But it's one of those things where you got to find out the context of anything before you jump to conclusions. But it's one of those things where I can't come to bring myself to say that yes, Hulk Hogan is a racist because I'm a big Hulkamaniac, and Mike Yetzi, who is a radio personality here in Connecticut, he basically said the same thing, that maybe it's idol worship or whatever, but or idol blindness. It's one of those things where I don't know. I just don't see it. And not to mention, first of all, and Kevin Nash pointed this out, it was a recording that was set up against him. So how do we know that he actually said these things? We don't know. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on. We weren't there in the room. I don't think I'd want to be. But, it's, and then he bashed Linda apparently too, But, this is 8 years ago. All right, and think about it. 8 years ago, 2007 or whatever, is when he was going through his divorce with Linda because of, everything that had happened, and, and she's a gold digger, and we knew that's common knowledge now. But it's one of those things that, quite honestly, I can't come to bring myself to say, yes, Hulk Hogan is a racist and completely turn my back on him without finding out exactly, the context of things. Virgil came out and sided with him, and Kamala, came out and sided with him and said, I support him, and I would ask him, what that was all about. He could have been in a very pissed off mood that night, and then it came out, and again, that's Terry Bollea, the man, the person, who has to live a life every single day. Now, does that mean that Hulk Hogan has to be taken, it's separating fact from fiction, separating reality from, imaginary, separating a character from a person. Okay? Now, do you necessarily not watch a movie, or do you necessarily turn your back on an actor because he says something in his personal life? No. I at least I wouldn't, because it's still, you're out there to entertain. You're not out there to fully support this person and then give them all your money and this and that. No, you're out there to be entertained. When it comes to Hulk Hogan, okay, I will say this, that I firmly support Hulk Hogan. I do not believe he's a racist, and I have to agree with Kevin Nash that this was a tape that was set up without Hulk's knowledge. Bubba the Love Sponge, okay, is a radio host. He has access to millions of hours or hundreds of hours of interviews with Hulk Hogan. You don't think that he could have doctored that footage to have Hogan say X, Y, or Z? Give me a break. I'm not saying that it did happen, but it's possible. Because this is set up by Bubba the Love Sponge and his wife. I don't know what the reasoning was, but, and then Gawker picked it up, and then Gawker itself, a video company, could have easily brought it. Now, do I necessarily condone what was said? Absolutely not. But, again, he could have been saying it because he was pissed off, and it just came out that way. If I'm pissed off, I'm going to say stuff that I don't mean. Because that's human nature. You say stuff in anger, and you say stuff that hurt, that you just don't mean. So, that's what it is. I firmly support Hulk Hogan. I feel that he's been wronged since this, and the sex tape has kind of ruined his legacy and a career. And honestly, with all this coming out now, I would up the lawsuit against Gawker, because now they're releasing stuff that is on that tape that's in a court battle that should never have seen light. So he's got more lawsuits to go, against the National Enquirer, or and it's all about that. So I will say that I firmly support Hulk Hogan. And that's, the bottom line. All right. So I think that I'm going to go to my next song, my final song of the day. It's Second Skin Bottle. And we're going to end up, and then we got our final segment of the show. So here's Second Skin with Bottle right here on the Sportswire. All right, and that was Second Skin with Bottle right here on the Sportswire. All right, so our final segment of the show, as always, is going to be our dumb laws of the day. I will get to them in just a second. And actually, we're going to go international today. That's right. We're going to go to Switzerland. Okay? We're going to go to Switzerland for our dumb laws of the day. Dumb laws in Switzerland. These are all courtesy of dumblaws.com. All right? In a small town in Switzerland, it is illegal to ride down hills with a bike. It is illegal to flush the toilet after 10 p.m. A man may not relieve himself while standing up after 10 p.m. That's kind of weird. Although it is illegal to produce, store, sell, and trade absinthe, it is legal to consume it. So if you bring it, so you can drink it, but you can't make it or get it into the country anywhere. It is required that every car with snow tires has to have a sticker on its dashboard which tells that the driver should not drive faster than 160 kilometers with these tires. If you forget your car keys inside the car and you leave the car open, you will be punished. Okay, but if you forgot the car keys in the car, you wouldn't realize the car was open. Okay, whatever. Clothes may not be hung to dry on a Sunday. You may not wash your car on a Sunday. It is considered an offense to mow your lawn on a Sunday because it causes too much noise. So there you have it. The dumb laws of the day from Switzerland. So that's that. Okay, so we're done. I want to thank our musical talent for today. Twism Whitepiece, Second Skin, Katie Perkins, AJ Jansen, and Jenna Marotta. We will be back either Thursday or Friday with another podcast, with another Sportswire podcast. Thank you to our sponsors, because we've got Wayne Jones Management Company, which is www.blemg.com, and also Jerry Wilson from It's So Real Productions. Definitely check out their Facebook pages or websites. You know, give them some business because they're here to support us and support me. And, you know, hopefully you'll be able to start voting for me for the podcast awards. That would be absolutely just too sweet. But okay, so I'm done. I want to thank you for listening. And thank you for downloading. You always subscribe to or download the Sportswire on iTunes. Just go to iTunes and go to the podcast page of the iTunes store. Search Sportswire, look for our flame logo, and you can just subscribe right from there. This way, every episode of the Sportswire and every, I might put in a second, a different show for the Brawlers and the Panthers. So we'll see how that goes. I'll look for that the next couple days. All right, so we're done for the day. Folks, have a great day. I hope to see you and hear from you on Facebook. Check out all of our ways to listen to us, www.swe-ct.com. Then you got www.myfatcatradio.com, facebook.com/SportswireCT, facebook.com/BDC Vinny Apicella, facebook.com/FatCatRadio Enterprise. And then you get Tumblr, Pinterest, Instagram, Foursquare, Tout, Twitter, and Periscope, SWE Connecticut, on Google+, YouTube, and Skype. It is Sportswire SWE. Check them all out on Skype at us. You can send us questions all the time. I'm still going to be working on the simulcast function. And there you have it. So, folks, have a great weekend, or have a great week. I'll talk to you on the weekend. Bye-bye.